Yeah, but like I've been saying, if you was paying attention, just look on my IG bio. Look at the petitions I've been starting. Like this one right here for transportation and homeless shelters in the community that I live in. So let me show you the picture. Let me see. Right here. Boom. This is the cover picture for it. Read the bottom ticker and you will pretty much get it. But yeah, today we got a few topics. I ain't gonna be all chatty patty and talking. You know what I'm saying? Like most people do for their videos. I'm gonna get straight to the content. So, shout out to Cliff World TV. Cliff World TV 1 on Instagram. Dropping content. He been dropping a lot of content. And I've been dropping content on Sinaloa, the Chapitos, and Mayo. And then these YouTubers that died. 3 YouTubers died from Mexico. And then we got a young man, young 17-year-old, you know what I'm saying, lost his life in violence, fled to the police. Is protesting outside state post in Flint. So yeah, but
He was I'm sick of seeing our team not have a quarterback guy, which this is the new world we're in, and you can do that. So shout out to Michigan stepping up in a massive way and getting this dude. But he is a freak. I guess he's very good. Yesterday I was saying, if Julian Lewis is number 2 guy, I don't know who the hell the number 1 guy is. Then just hours later, Adam Schefter breaks the news. He's going to Michigan, and his highlights start flooding my algorithm. I'm like, oh, okay, so there is a great future for football at the quarterback position seemingly right now, and obviously in the world that we're in, they can prosper, which is good for them.
Well, they're so good, so young. And then yesterday, Julian even said, like, when he was 10 years old, he's sitting there reading cover 3, cover 2, and you actually can kind of read defenses and do that. You're that good, and you're 13, 14, 15 years old. That it blows my mind. Like, when there's physically gifted dudes, but when they can process the game and do all of that, that's why I think we're seeing all these receivers come in as rookies. They can kind of know where to sit down, when to, if they're man-to-man zone, whatever I'm doing. They're just years ahead, I think, of what you used to be when it was almost like pickup football in high school.
Let alone like the virtual reality thing we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
These kids can get virtual reality reps on coverages at their house. And, we talked to T.C. Lewis, who is Juju Lewis's dad. I got a chance to talk to him yesterday because I wanted to thank him for the opportunity for us to do this, because we know it's a massive moment in their family's history, And obviously the dad of the quarterback is going to be closely tied in there, like he's going to be a part of the whole process. It's like they would like to see their kids have success too. So whenever they see things that are available, I think Juju Lewis had the highest Elite 11 score in history.
Yep, that's it.
History of the Elite 11.
And all of them have come through.
so basically Michigan landed Belleville.
That's a huge deal up there in Michigan.
Yep.
Huge deal. Shout out to college football recruiting news yesterday being awesome. We were so lucky that Juju Lewis decided to do that on our program, and obviously they're getting a good one out there in Colorado. And I think you heard a lot of Colorado fans say, oh, so is Coach Prime going to coach the Cowboys now? Is that what everybody – oh, shut up is basically what the Colorado Buffalo fans are saying. And then I saw the reaction from the haters, of which there are many and seemingly always will be. They were saying this kid's going to have to change his commitment whenever Prime gets.
What Lord Jamar and Tyreek Nasheed, and Tyreek Nasheed did the documentary and stuff, microphone check, is that fam, black Americans created hip-hop. Others saw what black Americans were doing and then decided to join in. Now, they did call Fat Joe out personally because of the way that they were saying Puerto Ricans and blacks created it, and blacks and Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans and everybody else created hip hop together. But what Tyreek and Nasheed and them are saying is, hey fam, when you look at hip hop, there is nothing that came from Jamaican culture that influenced hip hop or made hip hop move away, that set any trends in hip hop, whether it be the music, the language, the sound, anything. It's all from what black Americans were doing in America. Same thing for Puerto Ricans, same thing for Guyanese.
Keep it short and sweet. back to the topics we were talking about, though. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about this dude Trenches News, and he telling on Dirk. I don't know what exactly is he clickbaiting or is he dead serious. But we go find out. How much money you say you got, or think you got. But let me skip past because he always talking about homeless. Hey, with that being said, let's say the women. But yeah, I got a few of these topics I've been jumping on lately. If you've been paying attention. I will be going live tonight. I will be going live back to the regular schedule. Hope everybody ate safe and blessed. You got anything extra out there, man? It's cold outside. It's snowing and everything. You got hats, scarves, gloves. Like I said, go sign these petitions, man. I got petitions. At the bottom, you can see. All right, y'all, I got 2 stories. Trenches News is confronting these clickbait pages. Time about that I told on Lil Durk, man. So we gonna talk about that. And then we got OTF Jam is in jail in Phoenix. I'll explain everything to y'all. Make sure y'all smash that like button so this video can get around to the masses. Make sure you get this video around. Send this video to Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, anything you got, man. All right, let's get it, y'all. All right, so first, we're going to address the elephant in the room. I see a page, one of the pages that's been chasing me for like 3 years too, man. It's sad. Made a story, and he put the OTF D-Thing retaliation paperwork up there with Marley and AJ, the guys who the second murder for hire on Lil Durk. So this guy then took a little clip of the paperwork that clearly says that CH1 he only been arrested for a misdemeanor gun charge. That's the only charge he got. That ain't Trenches News. Trenches News has a rap sheet longer than a rap sheet. I have 40 arrests. All my arrests, most of my arrests is online that they could find. And that's about 20 of them back to back to back. So it ain't me. They said the CSI got paid $12,000. I thought I got paid $100,000. Then Butter say I got paid $100. So did I get paid $100 separately, then $12,000? Well, I mean, let me know what's up, you know. Hey, but I don't mind these fake pages, man. These pages. Hey, look, this all I ask of y'all. When it come out that I ain't got nothing to do with D-Thing and the Durk murder for hire with AJ and them, when it come out, bro, hey, look, just unsubscribe from that page. Yeah, he said it's clickbait though. He didn't even say it's clickbait, so he put it in the title. But it's clickbait. So he pleaded his case. He said that last time when he got caught up. Y'all need to do just it's one thing to make a mistake, but it's one thing to be accusing somebody of some, just like the No Limit, not No Limit Cairo, the No Limit Shooter Shells, one of the big bloggers and from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Made a story about the No Limit shit. Oh yeah, he got down on the Shooter Shells person. Hey, whole time the paperwork came out for Shooter Shells. Hey, I still ain't getting no apology. I don't need one. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you make errors like that, you should say, "Hey, bro, my bad, bro." And then this person inboxed me and told me, "Hey, somebody gave me some paperwork." You know, they making up paperwork, they adding in shit. Trenches News ain't got to add in it, man. If you want to know about any paperwork, go to pacer.gov. Hey, look, if that guy had the paperwork with Trenches News in it, the CS1, he would have blew that shit up bigger than that. He wouldn't have stuck that shit in the middle of the screen like that. Hey, but shout out to everybody who out there doing their thing, man. I ain't got nothing to do with Lil Durk. Hey, look, I'm just one of the top bloggers, and when you get to the top, you ain't got to worry about chasing no story. People will inbox you for hey, Swipe, you getting out cash out, bro? I got information on this. Your homie will inbox me, bro. I got so many inboxes, bro. Hey, any big blogger should be able to tell you this, bro. People will hit you up. The friends of a friend will hit you up and tell you what's going on with the information. But I ain't got nothing to do with the Lil Durk, the D-Thing, murder for hire shit. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't even know those guys. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know those guys. And those guys sound like they don't know Lil Durk, and Lil Durk sound like they don't know him on everything. For the simple fact is, they calling some more people to ask them, did Durk pay them? Hey, look, if you do a murder for hire, bro, you talking to the person who sent you on a murder for hire. You ain't got to text nobody else and ask them did they leave some money. Because I'm going to call him myself and make sure he coming down here on the 17th.
So, yeah, I seen it, man. I don't pay no attention to it, bro. All them pages that be making up shit, man, all y'all got to do is unsubscribe from them, bro, when it come out, bro. They ain't no liable source. They mad. I'm running this shit up, and I ain't stopping. That's all to it, man. But you a funny guy, my boy.
Yeah, he says cap, man. They made the whole story up. Now I'm gonna jump to the next topic about Freeway Rick Ross. They trying to say he got down. He told the president. That what Loose Cannon said. He told the president, but I don't know about all that. That's far fetched, but we gotta listen. Wack wanted to jump on the topic of him.
Freeway Ricky, who's a regular on my show, right? Who was the biggest drug dealer on the West Coast at one point, right? Literally billions of dollars were running through his operation. His plug snitched on him and gave him a life sentence. And for the first few years... Yes.
I'm going to give you warning.
Okay.
Freeway Rick's my friend, too, as he is your friend.
Yes.
But if you continue to talk about this, I'm going to expose the fact that you didn't do your homework. I do represent the exposers, do I not?
Okay, you can
some
talk
things
about it.
I talk about, some things
Freeway
I
Ricky,
talk about.
Freeway Rick cooperated against dirty cops. Now, you may consider that snitching.
Once again, Vlad, I hate for the second time to have to expose on Vlad TV that you're not doing your homework. Freeway Rick got a safety valve, right? Or 5K1, whatever it's called. Time knocked off for cooperating and exposing law enforcement.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Prior to that, Freeway Rick told on his plug.
His plug told on him. How can you tell on his plug?
Freeway Rick told, it's in the paperwork.
Okay.
You want to put a bet on it?
No, I believe you.
Right? This is what it is, because just like you, I was in your shoes a couple months ago until Loose Cannon, one of the exposers, right? Like corrected me and said, nah, bro, I'm reading right here. It said, was it Blandone or some shit, whatever his name was?
Blandone, yeah.
Blandone, right? It said he was down in Florida, whatever, Freeway Rick told on him. And then I guess Blandone helped facilitate a deal with another plug in New York, and Freeway Rick told on that. There's 2-3 situations where it's showing that Rick gave up statements or cooperated against his plug. His time he got off was he cooperated with the government to expose crooked cops. I don't hold that against him.
The time he got off, we talked about this, was that he proved that the different things he was convicted for were actually part of the same continuing criminal enterprise.
No.
So therefore, he got time knocked off. It ended up being 20 years instead of life.
No. He exposed
and he did
law enforcement.
He did that as well. But I don't think that's how you guys...
It says it. Me personally, I don't hold that against him. I don't hold against Freeway Rick that he exposed the police.
Right.
That's me personally. Some other people may feel a little different.
So you feel that...
But
you feel that cooperating against dirty cops is snitching?
No, I don't feel no type
some
of
people
like that. Some people will.
Okay,
it'll be a back and forth depending on what you're talking about.
Right.
Now, what he got his time knocked off for, he didn't tell he cooperated against law enforcement. I don't hold that against him.
Yeah.
Right? And again, Freeway Rick, I consider him a friend, but since you brought it up, when you read the paperwork, it clearly states that he gave up information on his plug. It talks about...
Was this after his plug put him in prison by giving up information against him?
I wouldn't give a fuck if it was before or after, right?
So you're saying that if someone cooperates against you, you're not allowed to cooperate back?
That's a fact.
Okay, that's crazy.
No, that's the streets.
That's, like I said, that's crazy.
That's the streets. If right now, right, if your security guard was a street dude, right, and we getting a bang out, right? He popping at me, I'm popping at him, right? And he hit me, right? And he gets away. When the police come, right? If they catch him down the street and he tells them, Yeah, I shot at him because he shot at me first, right? When they ask me what happened, I'm going to tell them I've never seen that man in my life.
Okay. Well,
go pull up my last controlling case of what I went to the penitentiary for, bro. Same situation. Never seen the man in my life. I don't know who he is, right? But so you can't, once you give up information on anybody other than yourself, you at that point in time considered a rat.
Okay.
If you in the streets.
If Freeway cooperating is the same guy that gave him life in prison.
But I never seen that.
I'm not going to hold that against him.
But I never seen that. I didn't see it said that.
Yeah.
The paperwork, because I was arguing this point. I'm like, nah, he cooperated against law enforcement. Yeah. They're like, yeah, you're right. And I read it. And he got whatever. And it, his time off was based upon it. I don't hold that against Freeway personally. But then they slapped me in the face with the work. And they said it was like a situation going on in Ohio, something going on with Clanton, gave up information on that guy. So it never said that guy cooperated on Freeway. I didn't see that.
Right, that guy absolutely cooperated on Freeway.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
That's the whole thing.
Even if I would have seen it.
That's actually how he went to prison.
If somebody cooperates on you, that doesn't mean you can cooperate on them.
Well, here's my original point before we got sidetracked on this. Freeway talked about how when he first went to prison, he was so upset over Blandone cooperating against him because they made so much money together. They were close. Their families knew each other, whatever else. After a couple of years, he finally realized that if you're going to be selling drugs or doing other illegal activities, cooperating just comes with it. So you can't get mad when it happens because it happens almost every time.
Oh, yeah. Somebody going to tell on you.
Yeah. That's it.
Somebody going to tell on you.
You look at the little Durk situation. If you want to involve 5-6 people into a murder for hire and you really think everyone's going to stand firm and not tell on you, you're insane.
Well, they will until, till the light comes. Everybody want to play gangster till it's time to be gangster. You know what I'm saying? Here goes the difference in the generations now. We was experiencing that light in the interrogation room at 12, 13 years old. So what it was for, petty theft, robbery, whatever, right? And by the time we were 26, right, we probably had been under that light under levels of seriousness at least 4 or 5 times. Well, we didn't do at least a 5-year bid minimum, right? Nowadays, the youngsters don't see the same light we saw at 12. They don't see it till they're 26 or 23. And they're telling them, you're looking at 100 years. You're looking at life. You're looking at 40 years. Their mentality has not been molded on dealing with it. At that.
Man, you're talking about niggas from your generation telling me you talking about that shit.
Fat Joe
talking, bro.
So
people
let
telling
me give you the breakdown.
They
real
telling
quick,
me,
right?
we ain't telling.
So, and
let me see.
Yo, Tariq,
what happened?
my God. You know what's so funny about it?
Just shoot me down.
You know when they try to box people like, So, here's my thing on FBA. I'll give my whole thing. Yeah, bro, we're all black people. We should celebrate and be inclusive of black immigrants, just like FBA. So FBAs are foundational Black Americans, which means you could trace your lineage back to slavery within the United States, okay? Which means your lineage got brought over here by colonizers, damn near, right? Now, obviously, I'm a first-generation American, if you don't know. I came over here when I was like 10, right? I was born in Jamaica. Like, my whole lineage is in Jamaica. Now I'm a black guy. Like, me accomplishing my goals, I'm glad to wave the flag of saying I'm a black man doing this in America. For whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because of, like, this whole, like, movement to try to get, what do you call it again? Reparations. There's a movement that has separated black people where it's like, all right, man, all you Negroes who are immigrants or first generation or whatever, y'all ain't really black. Or y'all ain't really, like, part of this real movement. And I'm like, what movement? They're like foundational Black Americans. So they have essentially boxed out everybody, like people like me. And
I don't really give a fuck, honestly. I think it does hurt Black people as a whole when you have, okay, we have Black people who are fighting not only oppression but also trying to, continue to strive and do things to not only promote equality but to break down barriers. But then you have some people within the Black community saying, nah, well, some of y'all we don't give a fuck about because y'all not foundationally Black American. And for that, I look at it and I'm like, okay. Now, I mean, I really just don't know what to say. It's like, wait, so some of y'all Black people don't want to be cool with our type of Black people? Because, I come from Jamaica, which also has a ancestry that's also filled with slavery. It was a colonial, it was a country that has a colonial past. Like, the people that's on our currency in Jamaica, some of them were slaves that fought against and rebelled against slavery. But whatever, I get it. That's not America. These FBA dudes just say, nah, fuck y'all. Y'all are tethers or y'all are whatever. We only care about like the foundationally Black Americans. So for me, I used to think that was like their way of saying if reparations get given out, we shouldn't get none. I don't give a fuck about no reparations, and I don't know any Jamaicans, and I know a lot of Jamaicans who came over here. We're not here saying give us reparations. So if y'all just wanted to have the reparations pot, cool. But whatever. Like, I'm still Black, and whether people like Tariq would want to box people like me out the paint, I support him and I love him, and I love people, everybody that's Black. There's obviously some traditional traditions that are different. There's some cultural slight differences, but at the end of the day, we also got to think about the macro perspective. When we walk outside, they look at me as Black, they look at Tariq as Black, right? So I kind of look at it as a little bit divisive, but I'm not going to knock him because maybe he has a goal, right? Now, what that has turned into is just like, I don't know, it's like really like, it's like classic, I don't want to call it racism, but it's what happens to make sure that the lower class don't get to fuck with the people in power. The way how you don't get the people who aren't in power to fuck with the people in power, you get them to fight with each other and focus on issues that have to do with each other rather than focus on the class that supposedly has put them there, right? It's like the people who are leading or who you think are Illuminati or whoever the people in power in the United States, when it comes to people saying, well, this is unfair, you guys are getting A, B, C, and D. And this is why, I hope I'm not being scatterbrained. I want to be very concise in what I'm saying. But even like this whole thing about the United Health CEO getting killed, the people who are billionaires in this country and the people who with real power never want the people who are poor to focus on them and say, the reason why we're not getting where we need to go is because of them. If that was the case, people would storm Apple, they would storm Amazon, they would the real headquarters, they would attack the people with the real power. But instead, that doesn't happen. You know what happens? Infighting and just divisive shit that never ever boils up to the people with the power. So my theory is that the people with the power need to create division among the people that don't have the power, that they can never band together and come for them. So when I see the FBA shit, it's kind of like again, brother, if y'all just say, oh, well, if reparations get given out, it should just be given to us, but we're all Black people. I'm like, all right, whatever. Bro, I don't think no Jamaicans coming over here like, give us money for slavery in the United States. No. But this FBA movement has turned into, let's separate Black people. You're not Black enough. You aren't the Black person who we represent. And fuck with Tariq a lot, but I can't tell if Tariq is doing that just to create a lane that he completely owns and is completely subservient to his ideas and ideology, or he really that's what he's really standing on, because it doesn't seem to help black people as a whole. Anyway, I say all that to say, by the way, I interviewed Tariq Nasheed. And again, when he's talking all that FBA tether stuff, I don't get offended. Bro, I just don't get offended, right? But I don't know how beneficial it is. Anyway, I know you're probably saying, well, what the fuck got to do with Fat Joe? Apparently he had some comments at Fat Joe. I don't know what he said. Let me see if I can find it. Tariq Nasheed Fat Joe. Let's look it up. Okay. All right, here we go.
Well, you said that Fat Joe is disrespectful for saying that blacks and Latinos created hip-hop 50-50. Did you actually say 50-50?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that's just not true.
That's not true.
Yeah. And shout out to Fat Joe, but yeah. I mean, Latinos were around, but you can't say 50-50.
Not at all. Not at all. You can't even say 90-10. I mean, they came later. In the movie, all the pioneers, they were like, yeah, when we were doing it, there just were no Latinos participating. We had a couple in the audience watching, but they just came later. They just weren't into it early on. And that's the truth.
Yeah, and listen, you've had very prominent Latinos over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Legs, of course, Big Pun, and Fat Joe, and Cypress Hill, MC Frost. Like, there's been a lot of very important figures in hip-hop. But I guess if you're talking about the original, then yeah. It was all black people.
Right, and the thing that's rubbing a lot of people the right way, there's this whole push just suddenly for there to be this co-creation. Because now hip-hop is going to the Olympics, breakdancing is in the Olympics now, so now there's a big corporate drive, and there's going to be a lot of corporate money there. So now hip-hop and breakdancing and b-boying is looked at as a positive. When black people were just doing it, it was like, oh, look at those Negroes on the floor. What are they doing? That's not real dancing. That's not real music. But now that it's being internationally accepted, they have to say, well, black people didn't really do it on their own. And so they're doing hip-hop like they do other genres. They do the same thing with rock and roll. It was negative until white people did it, and then rock and roll is a white thing. Country music, our sister Beyonce has a hot country album out now, and they're making it seem like she's co-opting somebody else's culture. Country music comes out of foundational Black American culture. So what happens is we let people come in and just take the culture and then turn us into guests in the culture, because that's what they're trying to do with the whole Latin situation. They want to go from Latinos were 50-50 to Latinos actually created breakdancing and black folks got it from them. That's where it's going. And that's where a lot of people are like, hey, let's put a time.
Now, okay. And I think this is a little bit apart from the FBA shit. Me particularly, and, again, I don't really give a fuck to be on sides. I just try to speak how I feel. If Latinos want me to believe that they created hip hop, fuck out of here. So I'm gonna agree with Tariq Nasheed. I don't think they did at all. I'm sorry. Like I think the roots of what hip hop is really rooted in obviously Black American, but African and specifically Islander Black Islander culture, for example, Jamaicans, right? I think, again, I don't want to just be like biased in terms because I know I'm Jamaican. I don't be like, I feel like Jamaicans have more claim to try to say they influenced the first, spark of that origin of hip hop more than Latinos do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, I know disrespect to Latinos, but it's like, bruv, with all due respect to y'all, we've seen y'all creativity. Y'all reggaeton is a ripoff of reggae, and y'all took this part of it and made an entire genre. I'm sorry, we're not giving you the credit for creating shit after that. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Okay, so I don't like to agree with some divisive shit, but I don't know if Fat Joe was saying that. Well, Latinos ain't create a motherfucking thing when it comes to hip hop. Cut that the fuck out. What the hell? Like, I'm sorry to tell y'all. What the fuck? Latinos ain't creating nothing. Yo, I love my Latin people, but y'all know reggaeton is a real ripoff of what niggas is doing. And I refuse to believe that y'all created hip hop or did anything that was really influential in the origin. Now, have y'all did things that have helped advance it, of course, I would never say that. But to create it, come the fuck on. Come on. Stop.
Time out on this and back it up and tell the truth.
Somebody said they didn't borrow from reggae. Nigga, reggaeton didn't borrow from reggae. Are you out of your fucking mind? you know the whole pattern of the beat, like the core structure. There's been lawsuits about this. It's based on one song. There's one reggae song that the whole reggaeton subgenre was created using basically the skeleton of that beat. Cut it out. I don't want to sit here and argue with y'all. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that breakdance.
Listen, ain't no niggas coming over here saying that they influenced salsa and merengue. Okay? If there is, I'll tell them to shut the fuck up too. But let's just call it a spade a spade. Us niggas ain't saying we invented salsa, merengue, and bachata. I don't want to hear motherfucking my Puerto Rican brethren or my Dominican brethren coming over here and saying they invented reggae and they invented motherfucking hip hop. Stop it.
Dancing was in the Olympics. I fell in love with hip hop breakdancing in the 80s in elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
And, but it seems like when you look at modern breakdancing, it's really run by the Asians now.
Yeah,
the Koreans, the Japanese, those are really in the forefront of breakdancing. So the fact that it's in the Olympics, I expect some Asian.
Yeah, Vlad, that doesn't matter though. Like, for example, reggae, the biggest connoisseurs of reggae these days are Asians as well, and also Eastern Europeans, because they have adopted reggae in its very original and primal form, and they just replicate that. So when people think about how reggae has progressed, they're like, who's keeping it still authentic and still like back to what it started from? It's going to be the Asians. And if you ask a lot of Jamaican performers, they used to go to Asia and get paid a lot because the Asian marketplace, they appreciate the authenticity of it. But I've never heard Asians say they were connoisseurs. They never say that they were people who created. It seemed like they were just people who allowed, not necessarily copy, but they imitate.
Doing some gold medals at this point.
Oh yeah, because you had people like Poppin' Pete and Boogaloo Sam, some of these West Coast guys. They were over there in Asia for years, teaching them a lot of
actually hitting you off with a bat that's making sure everyone that you street. You know what I'm saying?
See what they saying, but yeah, like, man, motherfucker, black people, they just be too Twitter and they run to everything though, man. But I get what they saying. No, they didn't make heads. No, they didn't make it. But yeah, other cultures do play a part in helping us and pushing our shit, but not making it. But like he said, Jamaicans, like he gotta put Jamaicans in there now. Look at him, he putting himself in there. You know what I'm saying? In the same boat.
Oh my God, that's dope. Good guy, real solid guy, real solid guy. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to play the whole thing. So let's get to what Fat Joe supposedly said. Here we go.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that.
Okay, let me stop it here. Do I think Tariq is a radical black racist? We got to be very careful with that, especially using the word racist when it comes to black people. Could black people be racist? Yes. Do I believe that Tariq is racist because he's doing this FBA thing? I think that's a stretch right now. I'm going to be honest with you. You know? Again, there's every group that's very, like, they might be inclusive to a certain extent, but they're very protective of their group. Like, Jewish people, they're very protective of their group. Could you call them that they're bigoted or racist because they protect their identity and they throwing that label on even someone? Again, I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says, but Tariq Nasheed, black racist. Hold on, brother. Hold on, Fat Joe. Let me keep hearing.
Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican. don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't.
Here's the problem with what Fat Joe is saying. I agree with you because I am Jamaican. However, because Tariq Nasheed might have a different outlook on contributions in the United States, or even why maybe a person like me is here, I am black and he is black. That's not racism. Okay, that's not racism at all. Okay, now it's still an issue that's under the umbrella of where there are systematic problems that have to do with culture, race, and tradition, but it's not racist, right? Again, he's not hating on being black, and that's what I look at racism to be.
Down with them, right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Jamaicans look just like Black Americans. I'm Jamaican. I look like Black Americans. Sorry, no. See, this is where I love Fat Joe. But y'all Puerto Rican and Cuban and Dominican niggas, don't lump yourself in with us Jamaicans. No. That's not what Tariq is saying. He's not. Again, his gripe with people who might be Jamaican or Trinidadian or Haitians isn't that we all look alike. Unless, tell me if Tariq said otherwise. If he said otherwise, I'll get at him too. But no, that's not his issue. So that's the issue with people like Fat Joe, because Fat Joe, who is Hispanic, there not only is a cultural difference, there's a phenotypical difference. You could tell a black person from a Puerto Rican dude, usually, or someone who looks like Fat Joe.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout. I mean, the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Oh, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Bro. Far as I know, we're at Yankee Stadium right now, and it's hip hop's 50th birthday. And the guy who invented it, Grandmaster Flash, my brother carried his crates. My babysitters made up the.
Now, what Fat Joe is saying here is definitely factually correct. If we think about the lineage and how hip hop grew over time, it's impossible to say it without also acknowledging the contributions of people who were Latino, right? All the Latinos and Latinas, of course. For me, my only objection is to say that they started it. Like, yeah, of course. Like, Black culture and Latin culture, Latino culture has been really intertwined, especially here in New York. But again, when we look at hip hop as a black art, we ain't gonna give the credit to a motherfucking Puerto Rican nigga to say he started it. Of course, did the Puerto Ricans and the culture that Puerto Ricans have brought influence it? Yes. But started it? Stop playing. Just like, it's like somebody tell me that reggae was started by a nigga in Puerto Rico. Like, nigga, I flip the fuck out, nigga. I get go J-Man on you. I bug the fuck up right now, nigga. Stop playing, nigga. I bug the fuck up. So, yeah.
Let me hear you say, ho. It's two girls, twins, used to babysit me. They made up. Let me hear you say, ho. So they have a big problem, these guys, right? So they're against anybody who ain't with them. So this ain't a popular message. This ain't what everybody's saying. We might be giving them too much light right here is what I'm trying to tell you. Right. So there's a small minority to get on them Twitters and they running it up. We got a fucking Looney Tune like your man Lord Jamal, who's a fucking Looney Tune. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's a loony bit, right? We just said that the drug of choice is attention. It's this and this and that. They get a guy who he was a legend. He's brand Nubian. Right. And he's the wackest nigga in the crew, be clear.
I get a low Jamar.
But now, this nigga might be like trying to get lit, trying to say anything. The world's flat, this, that, anything to go viral.
Okay. That was one of them, is it?
Well, I just told you I stopped my shit because I go too viral. I'm scared. I'm too viral.
Right. I think we in the information era. Some people just they see so many paths, they decide to pick one, and some of them ain't the most popular one. So, they just.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that this opinion comes from a tribe.
Right.
It comes from a group of people that hate everybody but them. There's radical Jews, there's radical Catholics, there's radical Puerto Ricans.
Right.
There's radical anything. If you do enough of that shit, enough of in-house racism.
Now, I'll agree with that a little bit. I do think what Tariq is doing is that he's radicalizing some of what people who are cultural and black are feeling and being radical. It's like there are okay, so you have white people that might be racist, then you have like a radical group who feel like they have like this pure blood of like white ethnic Europeans that have blue eyes and blonde hair, and they don't even accept other white people, and they feel like everybody else is trying to taint them and like taint their bloodline. Yeah, I kind of do get that a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, Tariq. Yeah, you be tweaking, bro.
So you wind up looking at the world fucked up, and we can't even move around.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's how this shit come about. These guys don't like nobody but them. So they fuck that. This guy, well, how could he say this? How could he? Bro, have you been in my hood? Do you know where I'm from? We did my brother's funerals. More black people than Spanish people at the funeral sitting next to my mother. Do you know where the fuck I'm from? But you trying to tell us what happened over here.
Tariq's live. Rock with Tariq, but like Tariq gotta explain this a little bit. I'll go watch him.
The person who was Puerto Rican and the whole crew was Big Pun. He took all his money. What's his name? Triple Safe. He's broke.
That's not Tariq, is it?
His career had his face cut just because he was telling the truth about him.
Okay. If Tariq's speaking, let me know.
All the legends I know, when I go to the legendary shit, they're all black and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And I sit there with them and I'm like, and they don't believe it. They don't understand. They don't understand like that talk. They're like, yo, what the fuck is this about? Like they're confused.
Now, one thing I'll say, and I hate to say, but we have to say, if we're talking about Puerto Rico or even Dominican Republic, these are two countries. And remember, I hate when people try to equate like being Puerto Rican to just being a race, right? Because people in Puerto Rico are different race, creeds, and everything else. Being Puerto Rican is not equivalent to being black, right? And when he's saying Puerto Ricans and black, I understand why some people might have like a issue with even accepting that, because here's the thing. You know what's really popping right now in Puerto Rico is Latin music, where Bad Bunny and all these people are thriving from, where we're talking about Anuel and all these people. Number one, it's super colorist. It's super colorist. Colorism, I always say, like, in America, we care so much about racism because that's the biggest thing. In countries where people look a little bit more similar and there's not hard race lines, there's colorism. Like, for example, in Jamaica, there's colorism. We're all black people in Jamaica, but now the lighter you are, it's seen like you're better. And the reason why I bring that up with like Puerto Rico is like, they'll be damned if they had to give credit for what they got going on now with like Latin music in the sense of Bad Bunny and Anuel to somebody who was super dark skinned or somebody who was not from Puerto Rico. So, of course, again, as much as I agree with Fat Joe a lot, yeah, I'm not mad at you getting checked a little bit because Puerto Ricans ain't gonna. You think Puerto Ricans gonna let some random nigga from the U.S. saying that they're the one. Nigga, they won't even give credit to, like, obviously there's no, you know, if you really know the history, there's no direct lineage, but nigga, even though he's Hispanic too, you think they're gonna be like, oh, the reason why we get a Bad Bunny being accepted by the United States and others is because a nigga like Nori paved the way? No. Like, they look at their shit as solely Latino and solely from their country, and they ain't trying to share no fucking credit. So why the hell, when we talk about hip hop, we got to be talking about what y'all Puerto Rican niggas did? Let niggas have their shit just like y'all have y'all shit. You know what I mean? Have y'all been influential? Of course.
Huge. The pioneers, the Grandmaster Flashes, the Cool Hercs, the Melly Mel's, this. They're like, yo, we don't know what the fuck these people talking about. Because they on Twitter and they doing a little something, but what, I don't know what the fuck these people doing. Like, they're confused. They fucked with the wrong nigga. That's the problem. Fat Joe the wrong one. He always been the wrong one. He the Achilles of the shit. He gonna come out with that. So you remember Achilles? They wait for the nigga. They look, is he coming out? Is he coming out? Achilles run out with the sword. Oh my God!
And you know, with all due respect to even Fat Joe, and I know he's, you know, I guess he's Puerto Rican or whatever. Yo, let me tell you this, man. Like, these days, Dominican music is popping. You know, 6ix9ine went down there and he's fucking with all the Dominican like vibes and everything like that. You know, shout out to all the Dominican artists, you know, Orochi and all these other people. Like, shout out to all of them, but like, bro, Dominican Republic is the most racist island, period, my nigga. They share a fucking they share a landmass with Haiti, and they fucking hate Haitians, my nigga. You know, into the Dominican Republic, they treat Haitians like it's like the aliens, my nigga. Like, if there's a darker skinned guy who's a Haitian guy that happens, they almost ridicule that person. Like, racism is on another level in a smaller place. Dominican Republic, and I don't care what none of y'all say. I've seen it myself. The people who are Dominican do not fuck with Haitians. They look at them as lower class, dark skinned, weird motherfuckers. That's a fact. So again, it's like, bro, like, and put like this, a Haitian would completely fit in the United States with African Americans, just like an African does. So when you see that, we also got to talk about that, which that doesn't get talked about enough, right? Because them Dominicans, they do not want to be linked with Haitians, bro, and they share a country with them niggas or share a landmass with them. They don't want to be linked with them niggas. So all that shit, like, all right, when Haitians get, you know, well, obviously they're not trying to do it compa. Like, if you don't compa is a Haitian music. They're not trying to do it compa, but it's like, bro, like, y'all don't fuck with Haitians like that. But like, Haitians, like, when I look at hip hop to me, we have African, Haitian, Jamaican. We have a lot of black traditionalist countries into it. When I hear like a Puerto Rican nigga jumping in this shit, I'm like, nigga, this ain't no fucking merengue. Nigga, get the fuck one out of here, nigga. No respect. But like, on some real shit. So like, I'm sorry. Y'all do the Haitians, I'm sorry. Obviously, he's not Dominican. Dominicans do Haitians crazy. I'm sorry. They do them crazy. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm a Jamaican. We look like Haitians, bro. If you're African, you look like Haitians. So when you see how they're treated over there, like, whatever Fat Joe be talking about, man, pipe down, nigga. Like, we not running over there to try to claim what y'all and Ozuna and J Balvin got going on, nigga. So y'all do y'all thing over there, nigga, and claim what y'all claim, but don't try to come over here like y'all made hip hop, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. I'm sorry.
They fucked with him. They got him about the tech. This nigga, God, they got, yo, this is wrong. He don't care.
Now, even when me saying all that, I do think FBA is a little bit divisive. Okay, all right, cool. Let me see. What's
roots in particular? What y'all did was some historic stuff, family. Getting on code and making the Democrats crash and burn after they done spent billions of dollars.
Yo, y'all go to Tariq's page, man. Tell Tariq I rock with him, but tell Tariq, man, listen, we got to be together, man. I'm Jamaican. I'm very proud to be Jamaican. You know, I never, ever disown the fact that I'm Jamaican, and I understand like, I really feel foundational Black Americans need a hug. Because, again, I understand it. immigrants come over here, y'all have done all the work and built a lot of shit, and we come over here, we are enjoying it. I get that. And we want to salute y'all. And also, like, when it comes to, like, reparations, I understand why it might be like, yo, act. Now, I might be like, act, you rich already, so you don't need it anyway. But it's like, I understand why it might be like, yo, an immigrant from Jamaica at this point shouldn't be included if reparations are given. I actually even understand that. I understand the FBA in that type of way. But I do believe that, you know, us, whether we're Jamaican immigrants, whether we're African immigrants, shout out to my people from Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Liberia, South Africa, shout out to my people from Sudan, shout out to my people from Egypt, shout out to, like, there's so many great countries that they come over here and they do amazing things. I feel like the FBA kind of like y'all be trying to make it seem like other black people y'all ops. Like, that sounds kind of crazy. Anyway, I don't get too much in that. All right, cool. That was Fat Joe saying. Fat Joe, I'm disagreeing with you. I do think people like Tariq, and I hate to say like, but I do think he's kind of separating people a bit. But I'm not gonna knock some of the points he has, and we got to find middle ground, right? But I will say, you know, with all due respect to somebody like Fat Joe, bruh, there's so much division within black people that when you start talking about Puerto Ricans and shit like that, we just looking at you like, my nigga, like, we still don't even, bro, they got FBA's beefing with Jamaicans, my nigga, like, bro, we don't give a fuck about no Puerto Ricans right now, nigga, the fuck, like, yeah, you can't have an FBA looking at somebody who came from Nigeria, nigga, with nothing and made something, and they're looking at them as the ops. So again, with all due respect, you know, I would say to Fat Joe, just chill off on the side till, you know, the core politics figure itself out. And the core politics is black people as a whole. And yes, there's black people in what do you call it again? Puerto Rico, but these other countries who historically has fought those battles. For example, the entire Africa, you know, continent, and a lot of these countries, whether in the Caribbean or otherwise, we should probably think about that first. All right. Let's not get too much into all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel what he's saying, Joe. Oh, you're right. We started that. We gotta take pride in it, but
what say you?
stop.
Let's start with Alexa. What do you say about? What do you have to say?
Going at each other, then like we gotta be like, bro. If that be our digit, somebody that come together right now. We gotta just come together anyway.
The ones who are monetized, we're getting money. All publicity is good publicity. I want everybody talking about me. I want everybody talking about me. Whether it's positive or negative, it's still keeping my name buzzing. It's still keeping my platform alive. You know, if it's something bad being put out on the internet, I'm clicking on it because I want to know, damn. What's all this bad talking about this person? Every time something bad is said about Dogface, I'm clicking on it because I want to know, damn, what's in today's news? Why they talking about Dogface? So every click, every like, every view, that's money for Alexa Rose. So that's what I gotta say about it. Keep criticizing. Thank you.
Yeah, I criticize them, so I really don't be tripping on it. Like, it ain't off limits for me. It ain't off limits for you. We be in everybody's business.
And then I got a big mouth. You can't shut me up. I got a big mouth. So it's like, that's when Dogface just came on my podcast, we couldn't stop laughing because we was banned from live. We was banned from commenting. Because you pop off, I'm popping right back off. And then they can't take it, so they report. Me and Dogface call it Instagram snitching. Don't report nothing. Let's go back and forth. I thought y'all wanted to go back and forth. So like I said, if you control and criticize, I can too.
I ain't with hitting the report button, but somebody did ask, like, what is they supposed to do?
That's not me. That's not.
What they supposed to do? They obviously not good at that.
My whole thing is,
Rich Trapper.
I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully, but I only respond to people who say negative things about me, and they can't take it. Because if your bio say RP my mom and my kids, I'm going to say fuck your mom and your kids because.
What it do? Top Media TV, we back with another video. So WAC 100 finally calls Freeway Rick Ross, you know.
Is that type of person, but like I said, I don't care for the criticism.
Yeah, it ain't. You don't know how somebody want to get back.
You don't. So
shit, when you play the game, you playing it. You playing it the whole way. You might not think you playing it the whole way, but you in it. So
Wendy Williams right now, we couldn't stand Wendy Williams. Now she not sitting on the purple couch no more. She not talking about everybody like a dog, and we all sad. Wendy Williams is dying a millionaire. They can't figure out where to put her money and get her money to. They couldn't stand her. Lil Wayne made a whole song about her. Wendy Williams, you dog head bitch. This, that, and the third. Can I cuss on here?
yes, you can. Of course.
They couldn't stand Wendy Williams' ass. Now we need a Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams will be eating up these Diddy allegations. Will be eating up this DJ allegation. She will be eating up all this news that's in the media. We couldn't stand her, but we stay tuning in every week. Like, what this bitch about to say today? What's she about to say today?
That's my personal thing on it too, is that man, it's always cool until you on the opposite end of it. We watch media all the time. Like, 90% of the reason why people is on Instagram, and no matter how prestige you may appear to be or how clean you may be, you can't tell me that you're not paying attention or looking for what's going on, even if it's not in Detroit or whatever city that you in, even if it's world news, to figure out what's going on in Hollywood or what's going on in different places. Man, we all enjoy media, and I feel like that's something that everybody should accept and kind of, grow to understand that we work hard to, be these public figures, build a name, build status, build fame, but no different than a basketball player. Your game gonna get critiqued. No different than a football player. Your game gonna get critiqued. If you an actor, the movie that you act in, people gonna critique it. So it's just something that I hope people grow to understand. But in the meantime, I guess it just, it is what it is.
It's what comes with the class.
People got to think about this. Who you feel you are not to be talked about. You feel me? Who anybody feel they is not to be talked about. Then what you gonna, what you gonna do about it? You feel me? So that's the whole thing about it. I care less what they think about it. You feel me?
But they criticize Jesus.
Most people living off image. It ain't them, but they living off image. And before you tear down their image, they ready to, you know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that public figure, because the only ones really care about it is those who live in a false image. You feel me? Because no matter what I say, no matter what somebody say about me, you feel me? I'm going to still be true at the end of the day. You feel me? And I'm going to stand on business. So if I really don't like what you saying about me, then I know what. Everybody got choices. It's the choice you decide to make. You feel me?
So, this is what I got to say about the YouTube media, right? Initially, before YouTube even had a voice, we had all the news stations was the only one reporting the news. But here it is, we got us in the middle of the news reporting news. And can't nobody stop us from saying what we want to say. You know what I mean? So once we say what we say, everybody paying attention to it with no filter. All these big networks and everything got filters, but when we talk our own honest opinions, ain't no filter. Here it is, a person like Detroit Gossip on the YouTube streets for only 2 months. When you got the Channel 4 News talking about something that Detroit Gossip has said, who paying attention? The big news and networks paying attention. So what we say, it is what it is. We are the media. Can't no conglomerate tell us what to say or not. We speaking what we speak exactly from what we at.
Hey, listen.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I do feel like some of the platforms, they pick and choose who they want to talk shit about. Like, they do get scary sometimes. Like, I feel like if you have the type of platform where you report news, report all news. Like, I be feeling like if they locked in with this person or they cool with that person, they're not gonna report it. So that's why I really don't have one of those type of platforms where it's like reporting news or like reporting gossip or tea, because people be scared. If your homeboy got his chain took, you need to report that. Don't not report that because that's your homeboy. Don't not report that because that's your homeboy. They be picking and choosing.
They only want to talk about their win.
Or if you want to pay a blog to post something,
man, you're gonna be
banned from the track. To post it like, oh, I don't post that. No, you just a dick sucker. You don't want to post that because I'm just giving an example. You like Lil Durk. You want to one day be next to Lil Durk, so you're not gonna post me saying nothing crazy about Lil Durk on your platform. But this is what your platform is about. But
what Lil Boosie said about Lil Baby, about Pete when he was asked about 4PFP.
Yeah, like picking and choosing. I don't like picking and choosing. I don't have a problem with Lil Boosie. It's so funny because he is like one of the top people who I have on like my wish list to come on my podcast, because the type of podcast I have, Raw and Uncut, he have a mouth that will say anything. So I don't really have nothing towards Boosie, but he did pick and choose.
Alexa, can I go jump in right now?
Mm-hmm.
This guy Boosie is so much of a clown. He do research and report what he gonna say. He not about to say what it is, because he running around with the snitches. His whole thing is I'm against snitches.
So listen though, when it comes to Boosie, was it more of the money of P or more of the power of P?
Both.
I feel like I'm not sure. So I'm gonna let you guys talk about it. I don't really know.
So man, like one is more than the other. Is it the power, the hammer that nigga drop on, or is it I want to have the money you got?
I personally think it's a little bit of both, and I think it's good if a person, stand on business and is, universal with what they decide to put out. But I think as people move higher in the ladder, you'll kind of see for yourself what type of position that you may take, because you might have a billionaire friend that's actually hitting you off with a bag that's making sure every month that you straight. You get what I'm saying? Because the game is how you perceived in the media. So they kicking out hundreds of thousands to, hey, make sure you keep me in rotation, make sure you keep some positive things, flowing in of me, as opposed to another person who ain't. I'm gonna report that, but dog, you feel me? He hit me off with that bag. Shit, I just turn a blind eye. So I
get your Big Meech home. Young Thug is home. Little Durk is gone. Let's start first with Young Thug and Big Meech, right? Who do you guys think, and girl, think is going to have the biggest impact on urban culture? Whose release is more meaningful? Things, Black, Big Meech or Young Thug?
That's a good question.
No. Out of Young Thug and Big Meech, who's released back into the world of freedom is more impactful, means more to the urban community? Big Meech or Young Thug? Whose release is going to have the bigger impact on the urban community?
I feel like Young Thug.
Yeah, I personally, go ahead, sis.
I just feel like Young Thug because Big Meech ass is washed up. Ain't nobody think about him.
Shit. Yeah, I feel like they. Go ahead, Blue.
I think me. I don't know. Meech, man, it's kind of like neither one of them really making no noise. Like ain't nobody making a big deal about either one of them really. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel
like Big Meech was supposed to came home and made way more noise than what he was making, but he probably I've never been incarcerated before, so his mental probably fucked up. He's trying to adjust. Then he came home to already millions, so he probably just comfortable. But he ain't made no noise. Him or Young Thug. It was like, damn.
Yeah, neither one of them making no noise like that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say, definitely Thug. I think right now, Thug in the studio. I think he getting the product ready. You feel me? Which is the music. I think with this 20-year probation or 15-year probation thing, you know, it's certain things that he can't say in his music. Certain things that he can't put out. So I think he just reinventing himself. I think because he is an artist and music, you know, usually has a bigger influence on the people. I naturally think Thug is gonna be, you know, gonna have a bigger impact. I think Meech could have, but even with Meech coming home, you know, people are already trying to assassinate his character and diminish, you know what I mean, diminish his status and stuff like that already.
My nigga, that's boy.
So listen, when you say assassinate his character, when you say assassinate somebody's character, you are saying that somebody is lodging unfounded allegations against somebody that they know are not true.
No, you could be trying to assassinate a person's character, period, whether it's true or not. You know, you directly bringing up things to bring him off of the status that he currently is to a lesser status, regardless to if it's true or not.
Well, let me say this, right? When it comes to assassination, if you're lying on the motherfucker, you ain't. If it is true in any way, shape, or form, that the accusation against him, if that's true at all, saying what it is, if that is in fact the truth, that's not character assassination. That's just calling it like it is.
Yeah, because you did that shit. I ain't assassinating your character. You did that shit. But
I get that.
For Detroit, though, let's just look at it like this, right? When we talking about Young Thug and motherfucking Meech, Young Thug made an impact in the motherfucking music industry. Meech made an impact on his character and what people blew him up to be is bigger than the goddamn music industry. So if somebody found out if he is snitching out, they still about to ride with him.
No, I feel like Young Thug. I feel like Young Thug really just want to be more.
Got to fight against. I got to make myself what it is before I came home. He don't got them allegations. Meech is the one with those allegations that he snitched, and people in the streets don't give a damn if he snitched not because they caught up with the character.
Okay, so there's two things going on.
I think age don't play a factor because the young people run the social media, so I think Thug got a better shot at it than Meech because he's been out the mix longer. You feel me? Our generation ain't all over social. Our generation ain't all over social media like the young people. These young people go follow Thug. They've been waiting on Thug. You better believe that.
Right.
And so we waiting to see. We also waiting to see how this shit about to go with him and Gunna. So we paying more attention to Thug. He got us on our toes right now. We trying to figure out, damn, do you fuck with Gunna? What's about to go on? Damn, is Atlanta don't let him back in Georgia? You know, he got us on our toes right now.
And then on top of that too, we misunderstanding that Thug ain't no slouch. You feel me? So yeah, we talking about him as a musician, but the shit that he was getting charged with wasn't no musician shit.
Yeah,
you feel me? Too. So it was street stuff too. So we living in the time where the artist
and his stuff up to date.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Here's my question for everybody. I need everybody to take a stab at this. So in a recent interview, Lil Baby's been on an interview circuit lately, right? He's been interviewed by Lil Yachty. He's been on a variety of different platforms in which Gunna came up. Most recently, he was asked if the person between just the history of it is Young Thug is the one who convinced Baby to rap, Lil Baby to rap. He's the one saying, "Hey man, come out the streets, bro. Here's some money. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't gonna stop because you got bills to pay, but I'm gonna pay you to go to the studio because I believe in you." So Lil Baby's relationship with Thug is like a big brother, little brother relationship. Maybe like a stepfather to stepson relationship even. So listen, Lil Baby was asked about his relationship with Gunna. And he was asked if Young Thug was to do a song with Gunna, right? Based on where it stands right now, right? Would you be on a song with him? Would you join that song? And Lil Baby basically said no. We know why he said no, because he has said that Gunna is a rat. So my question to you guys is this. If Young Thug would do a song with Gunna, who he knows for a fact whether he did with rat, without a shadow of a doubt. If Young Thug would do a song with Gunna, right? Why would Lil Baby have a problem with that?
First of all, Lil Baby's best friend is a fucking snitch. But anyway.
Who? What happened?
Lil Baby's best friend?
Yeah.
You know who his best friend is?
Oh, he got a couple of snitches in his camp.
That's what I'm saying. So it don't matter. His CEO. Okay, anyway.
She just killed what I was about to say. Right.
Oh,
right.
Okay, so here, let's fill y'all in, right? So Lil Baby has several people who's close to him who are bona fide, certified snitches. There's no allegation. There's no doubt about it. There's people who are close to him that he has blood ties to, who he deals with, who have snitch jackets on them in and around the city of Atlanta, right? My thing is this. How can you say that you wouldn't deal with Gunna no way, shape, or form when you're the CEO of your label who you talk to every day is a certified, bona fide, stunt down snitch?
Because that's what all these guys do, brother. The moral of the story is, it's easier to disconnect yourself with somebody that's not in your circle. A lot of guys that stand on this snitch stuff, bro, if your brother snitch, you still talking to your brother. If your cousin snitch, you still talking to your cousin. All that's cat. All of that is for image and you know, the image that people be trying to portray. But the reality is that, you know, these guys don't be really standing on that, man. The closer it is, the more you gonna look past it. The further you is, the more you gonna try to stand on.
Hey, you want to hear something? Hey, boy, you on the wrong side of the camera, my nigga. You want to hear something? Hey,
we listening?
Baby don't fuck with his brother for nothing in the world.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's it.
That is not true. That's absolutely not true. Terrence Gangster Williams. And listen. That is absolutely not true. Let me tell you. No, I'm telling you, brother, that's not true. When Terrence Gangster Williams first entered into the world of YouTube, right? His publicist, who was acting as his manager, when they fell out, go to YouTube. She was taping their conversations because Terrence Gangster Williams was taping his conversations with Baby and Slim, right? The world, they tried to convince the world that they were not communicating, but he was communicating with him. He was sending him money. He was trying to help him get set up on the low. He didn't want to do it out loud because of the stigma attached to fucking with a nigga who is a snitch. But he was dealing with him, and it's all over YouTube. You type in YouTube, the tapes of him having a conversation with Baby, multiple conversations.
So Terrence protecting his brother's image then.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because he say his brother won't even allow him in the match.
Well, probably not because it's a visible situation, but behind the scenes,
you seeing the money and you making sure he's straight.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, man.
Southwest T is off parole. What does Southwest T being off parole mean to the mighty, mighty streets of Detroit?
Man.
These boys ain't done nothing positive for the streets, so it don't mean nothing. You feel me?
Nothing.